Topic of the video is transportation in animals and plants from CBSE Class 7 Chapter 11. Here we discuss about mainly the transportation in the case of animals, that too limited ourselves to the circulation in the case of animals. For the survival of all living organisms, the basic needed components are food, water, and the oxygen. In fact, the digested food, water present in the small intestine, and the oxygen is present in the lungs. These components are made to be available to all parts of the body for the survival. Now the immediate question is how these components are reaching all over the body from the place where they are existing. As per our daily observation, there is no benefit to fill a petrol tank of a motorbike until there is a pipeline to carry petrol from the tank to the engine. Then only bike can move. In the same way, transporting materials from the formed parts to the destination is an important condition of most organisms. Moreover, the transport system is involved in the removal of waste materials which are produced during the metabolic activities of the cells. Now let us discuss the transport system in detail. The major components of the circulatory system are the blood, and the second one is the blood vessel, and third one is the heart. The first one, blood, is the fluid substance that transport materials like digested food, water from the small intestine, and oxygen from lungs to all other parts of the body. The two major components of the blood are the fluid part and the cellular part. The fluid part is called as the plasma. The cellular components are the red blood cells, the white blood cells, and the blood platelets. Here we can observe the electron micrograph of the blood cells. Here you can see the red blood cells, white blood cells, and the platelets also. On further examination, the red blood cells contain a special pigment called hemoglobin that gives a red color to the blood. So this hemoglobin is responsible for giving red color to the blood. Coming to its main function, the main function of this hemoglobin is it binds with the oxygen and carries this oxygen effectively to all cells in the body. So which binds to the oxygen at the lungs and carries to the cellular level and supplies to the cells. Next, the white blood cells. The white blood cells of this blood that help to fight against the disease causing organisms. Usually we call them as the germs or the pathogens that enter into our body. So these WBC fight with the cells which cause disease and kill them. Finally, the platelets, which are very small colorless, and these are the colorless cellular fragments present in our blood that form clots and help to stop the bleeding during an injury. Here we can observe the movement of platelets towards the injury and forming a clot at the injury, and finally that supports the healing of the wound. The another important component is the blood vessels. Next, coming to the blood vessels. The general meaning of vessel is a tube or a canal that carries fluid or liquid in an animal or even in the case of plants. Here, in the present discussion, the vessel is about the blood vessels which are presented in the case of animals. Here these blood vessels carries blood in humans and even in some other animals also. And when it comes to their function, usually the oxygen present in the lungs diffused into the blood. That means where the oxygen enters into the blood, and this is called as the oxygen rich blood. So from the lungs the oxygen rich blood reaches to the heart. From here the arteries supply oxygenated blood to all tissues in the body. Comparatively, arteries have thicker elastic walls with a smaller diameter than veins. The reason is, as they have to adjust the required pressure to pump the blood from the heart to all over the body parts. Relative diameter and wall thickness of arteries and veins, as they need to send blood to very distant parts of the heart. Next, another blood vessel is called the veins. Veins carry the carbon dioxide rich blood from all body parts to the heart. So during the metabolic activities, whatever the carbon dioxide produced at the cellular level, that should be removed from the body, as higher carbon dioxide may be responsible for some harmful effects. So to avoid that, this carbon dioxide should be removed from the body, and these veins carries this carbon dioxide rich blood from cells to the heart. An interesting feature of vein is that they have a flap-like structure to ensure one-way flow of fluid through them. Usually they are called as the valves, which prevent blood from flowing backward, so that blood flows only towards the heart. Here you can see the flap-like structure valves graphically, and here you can see the veins of the hand. Next, the most important feature of circulatory system is the pulse. When you place the middle and index finger of your right hand on inside of the wrist, you feel throbbing movements. That means sound with a strong rhythmic beat, and that is called as a pulse. This rhythmic beating is due to Blood flow in the arteries. Pulse is a rhythmical throbbing of the arteries as blood is moved through them, typically as felt in the wrist or in the neck. Another important point is the number of beats per minute, technically called as the pulse rate, which is 72 to 80 beats per minute at rest. The pulse rate is usually the same at the same age group. Pulse indicates how many times per minute the arteries dilate and contract in response to pumping action of the heart. At the tissue level, the arteries divide into small tubes called capillaries. In fact, capillaries supply oxygen and nutrients to the cells, and then they carry the carbon dioxide and other waste products produced in the cells and forms the veins. In short, capillaries are the smallest blood vessels that form the connection between the arteries and veins. And these are the smallest blood vessels used to exchange substances between blood and tissues. Coming to the another important part of the circulatory system is the heart. This is the critical and essential part of the system. The heart is a strong muscle that constantly beats to act as a pump for blood transport, which contain oxygen, nutrients, carbon dioxide and other substances such as metabolic waste. All these components are present in the blood, and that blood is pumped by the muscle called as the heart. Coming to its location, heart is located in the chest cavity with its lower tip slightly turned towards the left, and which is about the size of a fist. In general, the heart sends oxygenated blood to the body parts for utilization, and the blood with carbon dioxide to the lungs for purification. By any means, when these two types of blood combine, if they get mixed, then the body's ability to supply oxygen and nutrients and removal of waste materials from the body is reduced. To avoid this to happen, the heart has a separate mechanism to hold and pump the blood rich in oxygen and the blood rich in carbon dioxide. The heart is divided into 4 chambers. The 2 upper chambers are called the atria, and the 2 lower chambers are called the ventricle. The right side chambers contain oxygenated blood, and the left side chambers are with carbon dioxide rich blood. Between the atria and the lower ventricles, there is a separation to prevent the mixing of oxygen rich blood from the carbon dioxide rich blood. And this is the schematic diagram of circulation which indicates the flow of blood in the human body. For purification, the blood flows from heart to the lungs, and then the purified blood returns to the heart. From here, the blood is pumped to the rest of the body. During the blood pumping, the heart muscles contract and relaxes rhythmically. The combination of this rhythmic contraction and the subsequent relaxation is called the heartbeat. The heartbeat can be observed by placing your hand on left side of your chest. Using a medical device called stethoscope, doctors observe the heartbeat and get evidence of our heart health conditions. Usually, the stethoscope amplifies the sound of the heartbeat. Stethoscope consisting of a chest piece that carries a sensitive diaphragm, two earpieces, and a tube joining the parts. Even we can construct a model of stethoscope based on the materials that are available around us. Take a small funnel, fix a rubber tube tightly on its stem, and stretch a balloon on its mouth side. If you don't find a balloon, even you can use a polythene sheet like this on its mouth side. Now put the mouth of the funnel on your chest, very close to the heart, and the open end of the tube in the ear, and listen for the sounds. We hear a thumping sound of the heartbeats, and even you can count the number of beats in a minute. Next, this chart shows the heartbeat and the pulse rate of a person after various activities. From this data, we can understand that each heartbeat produces one pulse in the arteries, and the pulse rate per minute is equal to the rate of heartbeat. That means the pulse rate per minute indicates the rate of heartbeat. In conclusion, the purpose of regular beating of the various chambers of the heart is to maintain the circulation of blood and the transport of substances to different parts of the body. Next, coming to some other animals. In some animals such as sponges and hydra do not have a circulatory system. The water in which they live plays an important role in these animals. Water brings food and oxygen as it enters into their body and carries waste materials and carbon dioxide away from these organisms as water goes out of them. Therefore, these animals do not require a separate mechanism, that means a separate circulatory system along with the circulating fluid such as blood to perform all these activities.